Hi, I'm Julie Granger.
And I'm Bob Granger.
And we welcome you to our house this afternoon to talk a little bit about our solar system. We built a brand new home this past year, and from the get-go had decided we wanted solar because we were doing a green home. So that was sort of a given for us.
It's been fun actually planning it, because since this is a new home, we've gotten the opportunity to actually place the house properly to get the best solar access, and we actually have great solar access in this particular site here in North Portland. The trees are such that we don't have much blockage of the roof on the house. Unfortunately, we did have to take out a couple of walnut trees that we had right in the front part of the property that were going to shade the solar system. We put a 6 kilowatt system on the roof. Initially, we were planning on a little bit smaller. We had, I think, we started out thinking about a 4 kilowatt system, and we were looking at the incentives. This was the incentives in 2008 in the summer. And then towards the fall, we did some analysis on the overall energy needs for the house, and we decided that we would actually balance our solar with some of the other energy systems to kind of optimize the costs. We ended up putting a 6 kilowatt system. We put 2 more kilowatts on the roof, in part because of the changes to the incentives. We took the additional money that we could save and we plowed it back into actually putting more panels on the roof. So out in the garage here is where the kind of the brains of the solar system resides. You know, and actually one of the things that was really, I would say, surprising, because I didn't really have much of a frame of reference, but the solar panels, the installation itself is fairly straightforward. The things don't weigh very much, and they were installed fairly easily. They run the wires down into this system here, which of course there's a large breaker on the system, but then there's the inverter, which takes a direct current and converts that into the AC current. From there, it goes through just a meter that tells us, that meters the total electricity creation. You know, on the breaker panel itself, there is a circuit for the solar input. So you can see how this ties in not only through the net meter for electricity that flows out onto the grid, but also how it flows into the house through the regular circuit breakers.
One of the things that we did, all the electrical lights that we put in the house are Energy Star lights. So we've used the best we could get in terms of what the energy use would be. We also designed the house such that we would have some passive solar gain, and we've already started to realize that, even though we really haven't needed much heat, but just the change in the direction of the sun and the way the sun is coming in and hitting the floor for the thermal mass, where that wasn't during the summertime, because the house is positioned in such a way that the passive really works in fall and winter.
So here we are now just outside the garage door. This is the electric meter that the power company, Pacific Electric, has installed. As you can see on the face of it, it says it's called a net meter. And what this means is that it measures the electricity going out on the grid as well as that coming back. And you'll see it flashes here. Now in this particular case, it's showing that how much electricity we've pushed out on the grid, and then it flashes over and says how much we've used. In this case, this was installed the middle of July. You'll see that we've actually brought in off the grid about 774 kilowatt hours, that mostly at night when we're not generating in the system. And we've pushed back out onto the grid 1,316 kilowatt hours. So at this point during the year, we're actually getting a credit because we're pushing out on the grid more than we're actually pulling in off of the grid. Of course, so then when you get your power bill, you get the two readings, how much you've put out, how much you've brought in, and then you get what's called a net bill. our net bill for August actually gave us a credit of, I can't remember how many kilowatt hours, but we'll now put that in the bank, so to speak, until later in the year, when we'll probably use that up when we don't have as much solar power being generated.
We're very pleased with what we've ended up with. I mean, we're still tweaking things and we still have lots to learn. I mean, we're still in the first few months of being in the house, and you know, it's going to take, I'm sure, a year or two to get all the understanding of all the different mechanisms that we have, but we are very pleased with where we are today.